Well, hey out there, fellow gardeners and beekeepers, it's Kathy the Neighborhood Gardener. So I'm excited to get started out in the beehives today, and I'm going to take you with me. A couple of reasons why. It is the middle of August here, and it is hotter than heck still. It's still summertime, but the middle of August starts screaming fall to me. I always get excited around this time of the season because I've been planting in my front gardens for the bees. I've gotten some new nectar source plants to put out there for the bees that will be blooming in the fall. And actually today what I get to do in the hives is I'm going to get to put my honey supers back on. This is my first experience with fall nectar flow. So I've just got high hopes for it. The bees are still bringing in a lot of nectar into the hive. I guess it's the gardens that I have. They're still pulling some nectar off of a lot of those plants. So I'm excited to see what they've done since I was in there a week ago. Anyway, today I'm going to take you with me. I'm going to put the honey supers on and we'll take a peek at what the bees are doing. So let me go get everything ready and come on, let's go do it. Okay, so I have got all my equipment out here ready to go into that hive. One thing I wanted to talk to you about, because I'm sure there are other people who are dealing with the same issues. Look, I'm already sweating out here. It is so hot out here. Anyway, excuse the look. But body mechanics and injuries. So I have an injury to my sciatic. So what I have done, and also to my hamstring, so I'm bracing up. I'm sweating like crazy because let me kind of show you what I've done here. You can kind of see that I've got my knee injury there as well as my hamstring, but it's healing and I want it to heal. The other thing for my back, I wanted some support because you know when you're working in your hives, those hive boxes that you're lifting can be 40 to 50 pounds. So I'm only going to work one hive today. This is my first day out here by myself. The last 2 weeks my son, thank God for him, he helped me with doing all the heavy lifting. I feel healing, and what I'm just going to do is just give it a try today to get out here and just work slowly. I braced myself up, and I also purchased a back brace. I'll show you. It's got the stiff support back here, so when you're bending, it will help keep your back nice and straight and gives you some support. So the other thing you can do is you can adjust. You just pull these up for more tightness. So there we go. And that feels really good. So I'm going to give this a shot. This is really hot with these supports on my leg and the back. But what the heck, I'm sweating out there like a crazy person anyway. But I do feel great support. So think about that if you're having some of the same issues. Got my smoker going here. I want to add just a little bit more fuel in there. Have a good base fire going. I just want to pack it really tight because you know your smokers go out while you're in that hive. That is not good. So I just usually try to top it off. So in here I have got the frames that I pulled last time before I treated. So you can see there's like some capped honey on there, and on this side there's capped honey and nectar, and that's what the majority of all of these frames look like. Some a little more, some a little less, but that is what is going to be going on the super. One of the things I'm going to do, because I'm putting the honey supers back on, is the bottom. I have a deep brood box, which is the bottom, and then this is a medium brood box. So what I'll do, because I want to keep the queen out of my honey super so she doesn't lay any eggs in there, I'll use a queen excluder. So the bees can get up through here, but the queen is too fat. She can't get up here and lay any eggs in my honey supers. Smoke under there. Just going to take a quick peek in here. This is the hive beetle trap that I put in here. Let me just see if it's done any, caught any in there. Oh yeah, there's a few in there. You can see inside the little black dots, those are hive beetles that the bees chased in there. So I'm gonna put this over here. They're so calm today. So you can see they're capping off honey and nectar in there. Look how busy they are, but that looks like a good frame. So I'm just going to move a little quickly today because I just want to really look for any swarm cells before I put on my honey supers. Okay, so I have gotten through the medium brood box. I did not see the queen in there. And what I have done, again, this video is kind of about saving your back. So what I've done here is, you can see everything is split up. There's 5 in here and 5 in here. So 5 frames in here. That's just an extra box I brought, and I tried to keep them in my head so I know which is frames 1 through 10. So what I'm gonna do then is I'll just put those back on after I finish inspecting the deep, and just 5 frames at a time. That is doable. So anyway, you make do the best you can to try to help do things by yourself and save your back at the same time. So just be smart. So let me go in. I'm sure my queen is in here. Since I've seen eggs in the medium brood, there's eggs, there's larvae, so I know she's in here. The main thing I want to look at on this right here is any signs of any swarm cells. I did see 3 cups, but they were all empty, so they're practice cups. Anyway, things are looking good so far. So all looks good in that bottom deep box. So what I've done now is, since I've split these, I know this was starting with 1, and then down here on this other side right here, I can just start putting my frames back in the order I know that they were in. So that's what I'm going to do now. All right, so all in all, these girls look really good. So I am going to smoke them a little bit. These are the 2 brood boxes. What I want to put back in here is my beetle trap. Put it around in the cornered edges a little bit. You just got to put it in really slowly. You can kind of see how they're getting all underneath, so I'll just kind of move them out a little bit. I hate when they get their little heads caught underneath there. That makes me crazy. Ooh. Okay, so you want that to be flush. So what I'm going to also put in here is one of these little Dixie cloth towels. They usually do a really good job at trapping the hive beetles. I didn't see a lot in there on these towels like I normally do. So I'm not sure if that was a good thing or not, because I did see some hive beetles when I opened up. I definitely saw hive beetles in there. I didn't like as many as I saw. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this right here. And then the bees will chase the beetles around the corners here, and then they also will chase them into this hive trap of oil. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put my super box on top. So let me drive some of them down. I know my queen is down here, so this queen excluder goes right here, so the bees can come up through there and get into this box and start storing honey, nectar, and then drying it down to honey. All right, so you can kind of see it's just an empty box right here, and this is where I'm going to start putting in these other frames. For this cottage hive, I'm just going to put them in like normal, and on the other 2 hives, I will use the 9 frame spacers on that. So let's just do this. All right, we're all good. I'm good with that. All right, I'm going to just put this here. So frames in the middle here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put this cover on while I go grab 5 more frames out of my freezer. Well, actually, they're not in the freezer, they're in the garage thawing. Okay, so I got my other frames. Let me just open up, and wow, look at all the bees up here already. That's amazing. I think I walked away for 3 minutes. Look at the bees that have come up from the bottom already and are already on top of that nectar and honey there. I am going to put these other frames in. They've actually been in there thawing out. They're not cold anymore. It didn't take long for them to thaw out. So I'm just going to put these on the outer. I have one empty that I'm just going to use just to give them a little extra space. And you can see some of these others, they're drawn just a little bit. Let me see if you can kind of see right in there, just a little bit it's drawn out. So this will give the bees something to do. I was going to put another frame that was drawn out with nectar, but here's one. What ended up happening, it wasn't thawed out because I was only planning to use the 9 frames. That's all right. Put this right here so all that nectar's in there together. And here's another one that has a lot of nectar, capped honey. Again, this was all from the spring flow. So I'm going to put this here. Off of there. Put the top back on. Alright, so this is brood box. My queen excluder is right on top there, and then this is my honey super. That is, a lot of the work has been done in the spring, so let's hope for a good fall harvest. So that is it for trying to work a little smarter and not harder for my tip for all you beekeepers out there who are learning just like I am. Again, I'm still new at this. It'll be a year next month that I will have had these hives. So I've learned a lot. Thanks to so many people. My friends in my beekeeping club are amazing. And I will have my beekeeping inspector is coming out next week to inspect these hives as well. So it'll be great to get her input. And anyway, thanks for following along with me today, and I hope it helped you in some way, not only for taking care of your back, and probably the best thing would have been just rest your back and not get out here, but you know, we don't let much stop us anyway. Have a great week out there. I hope it inspired you in some way, and thanks for watching. You all take care. Bye-bye.